AT&T and T-Mobile. Let me just, in fact, just toss a couple of interesting statistics, I think, your way, and maybe you can make some sense of this stuff and chew this up and put it in context. This first is from a March 21st article in the New York Times by Yochai Benkler. He said, imagine that for $33 a month, you could buy internet service twice as fast as you get from Verizon or Comcast, bundled with digital high-definition television, unlimited long-distance and international calling to 70 countries, and wireless internet connectivity for your laptop or smartphone anywhere in the country. $33 a month. That's what you get in France and most other European countries. Why? Because they have competition. Because they have what's called an open access policy requiring companies to build networks to sell access to rivals that then invest in and compete on the network. So there are literally hundreds of companies in France competing for your internet dollars. In Japan, this is another article. This is from the New York Times, April 3rd, 2009. The fastest consumer broadband in the world is the 160 megabit per second service. Mine, by the way, here is 5. This is what Comcast offers. 160 megabit per second service offered by JCOM, the largest cable company in Japan. It's $20 a home. What are we missing?
Well, what we're missing is media policy. And unfortunately, unlike the rest of the world, we've been pursuing another strategy, one that puts more and more media power in fewer and fewer hands. So we face a market where, at best, we have two choices for our internet service, the phone company or the cable company. And because there's no competition, they don't face any pressure to lower prices, help more people get online, and they don't face any pressure to innovate. So the rest of the world is building out service that's 20 times, 50 times faster than what you can get here. They're paying less for it. And yet our policymakers seem concerned with how do we make more deals to benefit the stockholders of these few big companies and not with how are we going to keep up with the rest of the world when it comes to fast, affordable, universal internet access.
Well, and in fact, the same New York Times, the second New York Times article that I quoted from, there is another factor, fear. Other cable operators, he said, are concerned that not only will prices fall, this is if they were to start offering cheap, fast service, which he asserts they have the technical ability to do right now, using the same kind of modems that are used in Japan without changing anything, but that the super fast service will encourage customers to watch a video on the web and thus drop their cable service. The industry is worried that by offering 100 MIP downloads, they are opening Pandora's box. Everyone will be able to get video on the internet, and then competition will bring the price for broadband down to $40 a month.
Yeah, if you can watch whatever you want to watch when you want to watch it, suddenly paying $60, $70, $80 a month for a cable subscription seems absurd, and that's what they're afraid of. So what they're afraid of is any kind of competition, whether that's coming from another provider who might offer a lower-cost alternative or a plan that fits your lifestyle better, or whether that comes from online content. You know, maybe you want to go and find things out there that aren't owned by a Comcast or an AT&T. That's very scary if you're a big telco executive, right. But in the long run, we're all the losers because we're paying more and we're falling behind the rest of the world when it comes to fast, affordable broadband.
Right. In fact, when Louise and I lived in Vermont, there was a state law that required anybody who had telephone or cable television infrastructure to allow anybody to compete over that infrastructure for a fee that did not cause the company to lose money. And so we actually had our phone service, even though the lines were owned by Verizon, we had our phone service from a company called Green Network or something like that, Green Mountain Network, and it was $25 a month flat rate, and when you called for service, you got a guy who was literally 5 blocks away from me in downtown Montpelier who would walk over to my house and fix things.
And these are proven policies that work. I mean, if you look back, we used to have this policy in the United States. You think about your long-distance telephone service, you had 10 or 15 different choices. You look back at dial-up internet, you could get AOL or Verizon or Earthlink or any number of services, and the prices went down. They didn't keep going up and up year after year, and these are all because of policy decisions. Unfortunately, our policymaking process has been taken over by these same big companies, and what we end up with are policies that benefit a Comcast or an AT&T, but they don't benefit consumers, and they don't protect consumers when a Comcast or an AT&T decides to start messing with what you do online.
Right, and it's really quite remarkable. We run Skype video on this show. You're coming in by Skype video right now. The crispest and clearest Skype videos that we've had in the last year have been a guest from the UK and a guest from Sweden. and they're much farther away than you are, but they have access to like the super fast. Anyway, I'm ranting. AT&T wants to merge with T-Mobile. And if there's anything that we've learned from 30 years now, since 1982, when Ronald Reagan stopped enforcing the Sherman Antitrust Act, the last guy to do it was Jimmy Carter breaking up AT&T, and that was actually initiated by Jerry Ford, I believe. But in any case, ever since Reagan stopped enforcing the Sherman Act, which led to the mergers and acquisitions mania era of the 80s and the Michael Milkens and all that kind of stuff, ever since then, what we've seen is less and less competition in the marketplace. But the other big thing that we've learned is that every time two big companies merge, they lay off a bunch of people. And I understand that AT&T and T-Mobile merging, that there is a Texas connection to this.
Well, there is a Texas connection. Certainly AT&T, a Texas-based company. AT&T runs a bunch of call centers down in Texas. And, of course, Governor Perry has been one of the leading cheerleaders for this deal, even though it could mean thousands and thousands of lost jobs in his home state and a bunch of other states, too. Washington State, Maine, a number of other places with a lot of employees. We found time and again when a merger happens, it does not create more jobs. In the name of synergies, we see them losing jobs. And AT&T, while they're talking to politicians, they talk about job creation. But when they're being honest, that is, when they talk to their own investors, they are very clear that the benefit of this of this merger is going to be their ability to cut down on investment expenses and cut down on jobs. At least probably we estimate 20,000 jobs. People who work at T-Mobile right now, they're going to lose their jobs. These are retail workers. These are workers at T-Mobile's headquarters. Throughout the system, there is not going to be a job for them once this is done. So in a country where we are supposedly talking about jobs, that is our number one priority, this mega merger is definitely pushing us in the wrong direction.
And Rick Perry is pushing it. Might that have something to do with, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I'm reading this from information that you guys put out. We're talking with Craig Aaron, the CEO and president of FreePress.net. $692,000 in campaign contributions from AT&T to Rick Perry?
That's right. They are obviously one of his biggest supporters, a Texas-based company, and 692,000 reasons for Rick Perry to get behind this merger. And, Rick Perry's certainly not alone. There are a lot of politicians who have come out in support of this merger, and a lot of politicians who get money from AT&T. In fact, AT&T is the biggest campaign giver in the history of campaign giving in Congress. So they've spent more than anybody. That's a lot of clout, and that clout has a way of separating these politicians from the facts. There have been regurgitating AT&T's propaganda, even when it's proved to be false, when it comes to them needing this merger to expand their rural service, when it comes to job creation. None of these claims are actually based in the facts. But with those 692,000 reasons to support AT&T, that doesn't stop Rick Perry or a lot of other politicians on both sides of the aisle, let's be clear, from supporting this merger, which is going to only lead to higher prices and fewer choices for the rest of us.
Now, am I correct in assuming that the only thing that can stop this merger is a division of the executive branch?
That's right. This will be reviewed by the Justice Department, which enforces antitrust law, and it also needs to be approved by the Federal Communications Commission. Both
of which answer to President Obama.
That is correct.
So he's the guy that we should be knocking on the door of, metaphorically.
Well, yeah, as well as sending your comments to the FCC and reminding those members of Congress, if you're all about jobs, you need to take a second look at this merger.
There you go. The AT&T, T-Mobile, and they're running ads like it's a fiat accompli. Craig Aaron, FreePress.net. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Tom. Anytime.
Keep up the great work.